Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Growth Habits. Oh, I'm always excited to share this time with us. So who is here with me, who has joined in, who is excited, who is ready to go on this journey once again? The journey of growth. But we agreed from the very beginning that growth is a process. It's something that happens and happens and happens. It doesn't just happen once and that is the end. So we've been on this journey for the past months. Since February, we've been on this journey. Oh my goodness, that's February, March, April, May, June, and this is July. Wow. This is really, truly awesome. This is the 28th session of Growth Habits. Can you just believe it? I am so excited. I can't even believe that it's been 28 sessions already of Growth Habits. So welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. If where you are joining me from, it's already evening. Once again, this is Growth Habits with Ngozi, and I'm your personal guide on this journey of growth. I take you by the hand and I walk the walk with you. As you learn, I also learn. As you grow, I also grow. So this is not just me talking to us every day. This is me growing with us every single time, every day. Every single day. So welcome once again. I'm so happy and I'm so glad to have you. It always excites me when I see that people join me on this program. I feel so honored that you would take out this 45 minutes to an hour of your time every day, every Tuesday. See, I wish it was every day, every Tuesday to join me right here on Growth Habits. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're also watching on the replay, welcome and thank you so much for watching this replay. Thank you for joining in this experiment that we are doing, in this journey that we are on to see how much we will grow from learning from each other. So I'm going to do a quick recap of what we have done so far. And in this series, we've been talking about emotional growth. We've been discussing emotional growth and what it's all about. And we are concentrating on emotional intelligence as an aspect of emotional growth. If you can be emotionally intelligent, there is no way you will not grow emotionally. And even in every other aspect, because emotional intelligence doesn't just help you grow your emotions, it helps you grow yourself. Okay, so I'm going to do a recap of the things we've talked about in this series of emotional growth and emotional intelligence. The first session in this series was session 22. And we talked about generally emotional growth and what is it. It was an introduction to this topic. And please, once you do join me, remember, tell me your name and tell me where you're joining me from. Okay, so emotional growth. We agree that emotional intelligence is basically our ability to recognize, our ability to interpret and regulate our emotions, as well as the emotions of others. That was a general definition of emotional intelligence. And that was in our 22nd session, the first one in this series on emotional growth. And in the 23rd session, we talked about self-awareness. And this is your ability to know you, to know what you feel, to understand your feelings, and to monitor those emotions. It's not just to know what you're feeling. You have to know why you feel the way you feel, and you also have to know how to monitor those feelings. Take a record of it, basically, in your heart. This is how I feel. This is why I feel the way I feel. And that 24th session, we talked about self-regulation. This has to do with regulating these emotions, having some control over these emotions that we are feeling, being able to control our emotions to an extent. Probably we can never ever have full control of our emotions, but we should be able to a large extent, control how we feel, regulate our emotions, regulate our thoughts, regulate our behaviors. That was self-regulation on session 25. Welcome, Peculiar. Yes, thank you so much for saying I look amazing. In fact, I'm very excited today, and I will tell you why once I finish this recap. All right, so the 25th session, we talked about empathy. And empathy generally deals with our ability to understand another person's feeling, our ability to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, to feel what they feel, and not just to feel it, but to do something about it. Many a times we feel for people, but we end it there. But empathy has to do with not just feeling, but being able to do something about what you're feeling. Our 26th session, we talked about social skills. And social skills just deals with building relationships, our people skills, being able to build meaningful relationships with people, being able to build meaningful relationships with people, being able to have a stronger understanding of ourselves, of others, and being able to build on that. And that was what we talked about in the 26th session, talking about social skills. Then last time we talked about motivation, and we talked about motivation, both intrinsic and well, basically it was intrinsic motivation. We talked about that last session. That is the motivation that comes from inside, not the one that's propelled by someone else, maybe propelled by another person's actions. No, the one that comes from our inside, the passion we have for whatever it is we're doing, or for life, even in general. That was motivation. And today we're going to talk about emotional integrity. But before we go into it, I said I was excited about today. Today is the birthday of two very special people to me. Some, in their ways, I was a bit surprised that both of their birthdays were today. But, I have to give them a shout out because they are so special to me. The first person is Charity Walters. That's her name. I've known Charity for a while, but I didn't really get to know her till this year. And I found that she's an amazing person, but she doesn't know it, she doesn't know it truly. She does not realize how amazing she is. She does not realize the potentials that are contained inside of her. So Charity, this is me telling you that you are enough. You are more than enough, and you've got this. You can do this, and wishing you a very, very happy birthday today. Now, the second person that I want to give a birthday shout out to today is also her birthday. This one makes me, it's not even emotional, that is the word, but it excites me, but also gives me reason to think. It gives me pause, because this person is the wife of my first son. They've done their court wedding. They've actually done a marriage blessing, but we're still waiting to do the party, later on in the year. So this is me saying a very big happy birthday to Belinda. Well, I'm going to call you Belinda Omocholoba. Yes. Ni Ojako, because we have taken you already. I want to tell you that I love you, I love you, I love you. You are my answer to prayer. You really tick all the boxes of the things I pray for my son. So happy birthday, Belinda. I love you very, very much. Okay, so now that I've gotten that smushy one out of the way, now we're going to go into what we have for today. And as I said, today we're going to talk of an aspect of emotional intelligence that I guess is not really dealt with much, because I have not really seen much about it. When I tried to do my research, I didn't see too much about it. And I guess because we've never really thought of it, I believe, and that is emotional integrity. We talk of integrity, we know what integrity is, and we understand that integrity is basically living in accordance to our values, our deepest values, being honest with people, basically, and keeping to our word. That is what integrity. Welcome, Roche Deotami. I'm so glad to have you. God bless you too. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Okay, so I was saying that integrity generally talks about our living life in accordance to our deepest values, our being honest, and with everyone. That is the person we are when no one is there, you know, and the person we are when people are there, they are the same. That is integrity. And also keeping to our words. Our yes is yes, our no is no. If I tell you I will be there, I should be there. If I tell you I will do this, I should do that thing. That is what we understand as intelligence, and that is integrity, not just what we understand. That is integrity. And there's a definition I want to read for us. I got it from Wikipedia of integrity. And it says, integrity is the practice of being honest, showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. In ethics, integrity is regarded as the honesty and truthfulness or accuracy of one's actions. Now, that is a definition of integrity. And, you know, I believe most of us also believe that we should be people of integrity in everything that we do. But what does it now mean that somebody has emotional integrity? What does it mean? How do you begin to have emotional integrity? Because, I mean, emotions, basically, I guess somehow you cannot really measure emotions. I can measure your integrity if you're always telling the truth. You're living a life that, you know, both inside, outside, when people are there, when people are not there, it's the same. I can basically, as a human being, measure that. I can assess that. But how do I assess emotional integrity? What is emotional integrity? What does it mean? And basically, emotional integrity is being able to acknowledge our true feelings. Yeah. Being able to acknowledge our true feelings, being able to acknowledge our true desires without judging them by what the society says. Without, you know, we don't look at what we feel by what society says. That is emotional integrity. That is emotional integrity. And sometimes, you know, as a Christian, I've always told us, my teachings, my life, everything is based off of scripture. And as a Christian, do we truly acknowledge our true feelings? We say we do, even as human beings generally. We find it difficult to acknowledge our true feelings. Simple example, I meet you as a friend. I'm like, okay, let me use Charity here. She's here. Yes, the birthday girl is live and direct here. Good afternoon, Charity. So let me use her as an example. I see Charity and I say, Charity, how are you? And she says, fine. When she's not truly fine. Now, it's not just the fact that she said fine, but the fact that even in her heart, she wants to believe that she's fine. Now, this does, you know, as I share some of these things, I have to also balance it with our Christian beliefs. And we can say that she's speaking in faith. This is usually what we say, that we are speaking in faith. So I'm not feeling all right, but I say I'm all right. But the question is, in saying you're all right, what do you truly believe? What do you truly believe? Inside your heart, what is truly there? As you're saying that I am fine and claiming to speak in faith, do you truly believe that you're fine? Or are you just saying the words? Do you truly believe as you're experiencing the pains, your life in charity is your bed have already spoken about you? Maybe when you go and watch the replay from the beginning, I've already given you a big shout out because today is your birthday and you're a very special person. So I was talking about our feelings, and we say, okay, let's assume I'm sick. I have sickness, one way or the other. I'm having some kind of pain. I'm having some kind of difficulty or issue in my health. And I'm asked, and I say, I'm good. And I say, I am healed, for example. The question is, as I am speaking those words, as I am saying I am okay, as I am saying I am healed, as I am saying I am good, do I really believe it? Do I truly, on my inside, believe what I'm saying? See, that is what emotional integrity is all about. It's recognizing our true feelings, recognizing it and dealing with it without allowing those feelings to be judged by anyone else, truly. Without allowing it to be judged by anyone else. Because, sometimes when we say this, oh, I'm good, when we are not truly good, it's because that is what is expected of us. That is what society expects of us. That is what our fellow brethren expect of us, to say that I am fine when I am not. But it's not even a question right now. I'm not talking about what you think or what you say. Sorry, I'm not about what you say, but what you truly think as you're saying those words. As you're making those proclamations of faith. I've talked about affirmations here. And some of us, we do affirmations. We wake up in the morning, we read these words of affirmation. These words are, confirming our greatness, confirming whatever it is we want to confirm about ourselves. But the question is, do you believe that? Or are they just words? Do we just say them because that is the expectation? Or is that truly what we believe? So emotional integrity has to do with being able to acknowledge our true feelings, to be able to say, this is what I feel, and this is what I believe because of what I feel, without allowing those feelings to be judged. So today, I don't want to use charity too much in my examples today, but today what I would want us to gain from this discussion is that we must tell ourselves the truth about what we feel. Let me give a personal example. Last year I was not feeling very okay. I had this pain in my knees, and the pain was getting progressively worse. And I was grinning and bearing it, as is usual for me, honestly. I'm very good at grinning and bearing pain. And I was grinning and bearing it, and like, okay, I'll be good. And I was making all the faith confessions. It is well with me. I am not sick. But truly, inside me, I didn't really believe it. I didn't. But I kept saying it because that is the expectation. No one wants to hear that a child of God like me, I'm putting the like me in quotes, would be sick and accept sickness. Nobody wants to believe that. And I wouldn't also want people to believe that, So I went through a period of denial. I think that is the word. I went through a period of denial. Well, yes, I was saying I was okay, but I wasn't okay. I was in pain. Yes, exactly, Roche. The most, even myself, is in the process of this research, trying to discover other aspects of emotional intelligence. I discovered emotional integrity. And truly, in the story I was telling, I was saying the right things. I was saying the right things because that is what is expected of me. I was saying, I am well, I am strong. This leg, you will go, you know, this pain will go. You will not outlast me, you know, all those things. But truly, truly, inside of me, I did not feel what I was saying. I did not feel that I was okay. I did not feel that this pain would go. Inside, I was crying. I was questioning God. Because I'm doing the declarations, I'm saying the right things. I'm looking at the word of God and aligning what I'm saying with the word of God, but I wasn't feeling any different. I was still in pain. I was still basically confused as to what should I do? How do I deal with this pain? And I kept on like that for a while. Truly, I was like that for a while, and this pain was not getting any better. Until I just had to, one day I called someone, and okay, it was a voice note I sent to her on WhatsApp, and the real me came out in the process of that voice note. The real feelings that were going through me, the real things that were happening in my heart and my mind began to pour out in that voice note to that person. And it was after that day, truly, that I began to get myself. It was after that day that I truly began the process of healing. It was after that day that I truly began to feel better. The knee began to feel better and all that. But before then, I was not expressing emotional integrity because I was not true to what I was feeling. I was saying the things, yes, because it's what is expected. I was speaking the words of faith because it was expected of me, not because it's what I felt. So emotional integrity has to do with our looking truly on our inside. What am I really feeling about this situation? What am I truly feeling about what is happening to me? What am I truly feeling about the situation I'm going through? What is my true feeling about it? And settling it inside of us, like I keep repeating, without allowing those emotions to be judged by society or by anyone else, truly. When we settle truly how we feel about something, it's easier to really truly now speak that truth. Mike, welcome. Welcome from Sapele, Delta State. Welcome. Glad to have you this afternoon. So, emotional integrity has to deal with our telling ourselves the truth about what we are feeling. Being honest with ourselves. Because you see, it's so easy for us to deceive ourselves and claim we are walking in faith. It's so easy for us to deceive ourselves. It's so easy for us to lie to ourselves and use faith to cover, that lie. But emotional integrity has to do with telling yourself the truth. And then from that place of truth, from that place of understanding what is happening on your inside, step out and speak your truth. So the example I was giving about myself, it was when I had cried it out, because I cried that day in that message I sent to that person. I cried. I brought out all the questions I had. Why was I not getting better? Even the attempts to even get to the hospital at that point, because I had traveled abroad then to try and get treatment. Even the attempts to get a doctor to see me, all those things were just seemed to be failing. You know, they just didn't seem to be aligning. But once I settled it within me, inside of me, that these things I'm saying, you know, these faith confessions I was making, that I truly believed them. That this is a reflection of what is happening on my inside. By the time I got out all the, medley of emotions inside and spoke them out to someone, I mean, you don't have to speak them out to someone, really. You can just speak them out to yourself. But once I had gotten through that and settled it on my inside, that yes, this is how I'm feeling. Yes, I believe God truly that whatever happens, because, there was even the option of, I have to have surgery on my knee and all those things. And by the time I settled it within my heart that, God, I trust you in this process. If it is surgery that is going to be, let it be. If it's going to be that there will be a medication that they will give me and my knees will be fine, let it be. If it's going to be that I will live with this pain forever, let it be. I settled it in my heart. And so when I now made the confession and when I tell people, oh, I'm good, oh, God is taking care of it, it was truly what I believed. But I had to go through the feeling it truly and acknowledging it truly before I could get to that point. And truly, honestly, from that point where I settled it in my heart and aligned my emotions truly with what I was saying, I won't say that magically the pain went away, no, but really, really, in my heart, I was okay. I was okay. And things then began to work. It was after that, I got the doctor's appointment, and at each appointment, I always, please tell me the truth. Yes, when he says some of these, American doctors, they will tell you, even the one that will cause your heart to jump out of your body. But now, when the doctor will say, if I give you this injection, for most people, it doesn't last more than 6 months. You will have to come back after 6 months for another one. I could confidently tell him, I hear you. But for me, it will not be like this. It was no longer just words. No, it was no longer just, let's just say the words, because it is what is expected. It was, this is what I believed. And truly, it's getting to 1 year, it's getting to, I'm sure it's not even up to a year, that the treatment for that knee happened, and I've not felt that pain. I have not. So, emotional integrity is being true to yourself, understanding your feelings and being honest with yourself first. First, being honest with yourself about what you're feeling. About what you're feeling. You can deceive others, but you cannot truly deceive yourself. And as long as you don't truly believe what you're saying, it will be clear. To be clear. People will know, even if they don't tell you, they will know. Because it somehow does show when we are not being true to ourselves. Having emotional integrity is also knowing your boundaries. It's not just knowing how you feel and understanding how you feel. It's knowing your boundaries. Understanding that in this area I need to grow. Understanding that I can only go this far. Now, that is not us limiting what God can do. No, because when we truly believe in God, there are really no limits, but we have to know that, humanly speaking, these are the limits. But with God, it gets extended. I don't know if we understand what I'm saying this afternoon. I hope we're understanding me. I hope we are getting the gist of what I'm trying to pass across to us this afternoon. Emotional integrity is being able to not shame yourself for what you're feeling, truly. Because many of us, we're ashamed of what we feel. Because it doesn't align, just like I said, doesn't align with other people's expectations. But I mean, there is no shame that I feel not enough. I'm allowed to feel it. It's what I do with that feeling that's, the issue. I'm allowed to feel that everything is not aligning yet. I'm allowed to feel it. But I don't have to dwell in it. That is the difference now. So emotional integrity is not paying attention to your intentions. Yeah, paying attention. I think I like that. It just came to my mouth now, but I like that. It's paying attention to your intentions. Why are you saying the things you're saying? Why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? Paying attention to that inside and being able to draw from that inside the truth. So this does not negate our faith. It actually supports our faith. I can't say this enough. It's not enough really to just make positive confessions. It's not enough to say we believe in God for those of us that are Christians. It's not enough for us to say, oh, I am a child of God and therefore this, that, or the other. It's not enough. Do you really believe it? Do you truly believe it? So emotional integrity is understanding truly what you believe. And then from that place of understanding, you bring out your actions, your words, or whatever else. So it's truly understanding who you are. That is the real thing. Understanding your emotions and being able from that place of understanding to allow yourself to feel, to allow yourself to speak, to allow yourself to act without allowing those emotions, without allowing those feelings, without even allowing those actions to be judged by anybody else. Because it's not about what society thinks. It's not about what any other person really thinks of what you're feeling. It's not about that. It's about being true to what you're feeling, letting your feelings truly align with what you're saying. Once again, this is definitely not, it's not anti-faith, because it doesn't help us that we proclaim the word of God, for example, and we declare the things we see in the Bible for our lives and we don't believe it. If you don't truly believe it, why keep saying it? Someone might say, if you keep saying it in time, you'll believe it. Yes, but it's best to align what is on the inside with what is coming out. That is the best. And that gives you the quickest answers, the quickest solutions to whatever challenges you're facing. Because see, I see a lot of people, including myself, we make these confessions, we say these things, and they don't seem to be happening in our lives. We confess wealth, we confess health, we confess abundance and what have you, but we're not seeing it in our lives. And most times it's because we're just saying these words. We don't truly believe them. We don't truly believe them. So if it takes you to have to, sit down with yourself and cry first, and say out what is happening on your inside, clear the air, as it were, do it. Then, because it will truly help you to align what is happening on your inside with what you're saying. And that brings fast, truly, answers and solutions to the things that trouble us. Okay, welcome, Major. You say emotional integrity is being able to not shame yourself for what you feel. Yes, it's paying attention to your intentions. There's nothing wrong with feeling confused, really. There's nothing wrong with it. It's dwelling in that confusion that is the problem. There's nothing wrong with feeling confused. There's nothing wrong with feeling things are not working out right now. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're not any less a human being because you felt those things. And you're also not any less a Christian because you felt those things. We're allowed to have feelings. I don't see a situation where God says we should not feel. We're allowed to have feelings. It's the dwelling and wallowing in the negative feelings that's the problem. It's not having the feelings at all. Because sometimes we make people feel that it's wrong to have feelings. Please have feelings. But take time to understand what those feelings are. Take time to understand why you are feeling what you are feeling. And take time to deal with it on your inside. So that by the time you come out, your feelings now align with your words, with your actions. Someone that has emotional integrity is also someone that learns from their mistakes. Now, I told us a story about me last year. If after that whole drama, that whole situation, I don't come out better able to deal with maybe sickness of the body, then I've wasted how many months of my life? So you must be able to learn from your mistakes if you're someone that has emotional integrity. You learn from your mistakes. Okay, so this is what happened last time. This is how I felt. These were the actions that arose from that feeling. So if next time I have a pain and I'm going through the same emotions and going through the same pains in my heart, then I didn't learn. I didn't learn from it. So I don't have emotional integrity. So it's not just, once again, it's not just to feel the feelings. It's not even just to deal with them at that time. It's to be able to have takeaways from it. Something that, because see, nobody can promise you that things will not happen again. I can't promise you that because you went through hardship this year, next year everything will be smooth and nothing will ever go wrong. I can't promise you that. But if through this season that you had now, where things are hard, things are difficult, things are challenging, whatever it is, and you were able to get through it by dealing with your emotions, by aligning your emotions to the things you're saying, to the words you are saying, and you were able to get through the difficulty now, the challenge now, and tomorrow something else comes up and you're not able to deal with it based on what you learned the last time, you see that you have not grown. You have not grown. And the aim is always to grow. Because one thing I know, and this is a general, both for Christians, unbelievers, whoever, any lesson we do not learn from, I don't want to say we are doomed, but we are bound to repeat that lesson. That's why we see these circles in our lives where we seem to be going through the same things over and over. Imachima, good afternoon, sir. Welcome. Glad you joined me this afternoon. So that's why we have this circle of occurrences in our lives. It's simply because we didn't learn. We did not learn what we were supposed to learn the last time. And even if we did learn it, by the time the next challenge comes, we're not able to apply what we learned. And sometimes it happens because we think the challenges are different. Maybe last time the challenge was money, you didn't have enough money. And this time the challenge is with your health. And in your head, they are not the same thing. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. A challenge is a challenge. It doesn't matter the specifics now. A challenge is a challenge. And if the last time you went through the challenge, you allowed yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. Like I said, it's not wrong to feel. It's not wrong to feel. It's the feeling and doing nothing about it. And then what you do with what you feel, that is the issue. So the last time you felt whatever, and things happened to you, dealt with it, you got help, whatever, and then the next time another challenge comes up, you're struggling. No. It means you didn't learn. Okay, Michael Ofeimu says, well said, ma'am. You are allowed to have feelings, but don't be a slave. Ma'am, don't be a slave to those feelings. You're from Delta State. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Yes, it's not, see, we think that our feelings are wrong. No, the problem is not the feelings. It's not the feelings that's the problem. Allow yourself to feel and be in touch with what you're feeling. Understand why you're feeling it. But don't stay there. Learn from it and move forward. So yes, we are allowed to have feelings. Just don't wallow in it. Don't just wallow in it. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. You can't deceive yourself. Do we know that? We can deceive others, truly. Yes, we can. It's doable. I'm not advising it, but it's doable. We can deceive others, but we cannot deceive ourselves. I don't even want to go to whether we can deceive God, because of course we know we can't, but it's ourselves we're talking about today. You cannot truly deceive yourself. And if you have not dealt with an emotion, you have not dealt with why am I feeling like this, you have not allowed yourself to study your emotions, let me use that expression, and understand it, you will repeat it. It will happen again. And you will still be wallowing in that, whatever it may be. You would not have learned anything. And the next challenge will come and you struggle again. You struggle with it. So learn to deal with your emotions. Learn to deal with the things that are happening to you at every point in time. Whew. All right. So I think I've said quite a lot about this emotional integrity and being honest about your feelings. Being honest. And, you know, don't blame others for what is. No, don't even do that. Many of us will do it, including myself. We do it. We say, it's because of how my father treated me. It's because of the way my family was. It's not anybody's fault. You can't blame any other person for what is happening within you. This does not say that people don't cause, issues for us. No, they do. They do. But we can't continue to wallow in the fact that this person treated me badly, for example, or the family I came from, they did not encourage me. For example, I came from a family where nobody encouraged me, nobody tried to raise me up. You can't continue to stay there. Feel the feelings. Yes, it's wrong that they did not encourage you. It's wrong that they did not give you the support you needed. It's wrong that they did those things. But it's also wrong for you to keep using that as an excuse to remain where you are. It's also wrong for you to allow those actions to keep you down. So learn from it. Feel it. Feel it. Feel the disappointment. Feel the hurt. Feel the pain that comes from, those actions by others. But don't continue to blame those people. Take responsibility for your feelings. Take responsibility for your tomorrow. Take responsibility for your tomorrow by dealing with your feelings today. Give yourself permission to feel it. Give yourself permission to now walk through those feelings. Generally, we as Nigerians, but I think it's actually an African thing, we don't give ourselves permission to feel, especially our men, because we think it's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness to feel. It's a sign of weakness to even show what we are feeling. But it's truly not. I'm not saying we should fall apart and, with people. No, we don't have to fall apart with everybody, but fall apart with yourself. Allow yourself to feel. Yes, Brochide said this is very true. Jesus Christ even acknowledged his feelings before he went to the cross when he said, "Now is my soul troubled." You see it? That basically settles it. So the feeling is not the problem. It's not that you feel bad that is the problem. It's after feeling bad, what do you do? Do you wallow in it, or do you, after telling yourself the hard truth, you now begin to align to the real truth? Okay, so yes, emotional integrity is important. It's important. We need to tell ourselves the painful truth. We need to face that uncomfortable truth. We need to know that, we do have limitations as human beings in this flesh. We do have vulnerabilities. Yes. Accept them. Even as you look for how to move beyond them. Even as you look for how to scale those vulnerabilities, those limitations. For us that are Christians, we have our way of dealing with it by aligning ourselves to the Word of God and accepting what the Word says about us. When we accept that, what the Word now says about us, we've dealt with how we are feeling. We've dealt with all the things, coming from our human emotions, and we now align ourselves to what the Word says. For you, maybe that you have not known Christ and you're wondering, what is this woman talking about? You can also deal with their emotions by aligning it by making the declarations, the affirmations we talk about, and align it. But I think the best is actually to align it to the Word of God, because that works. I know that works. So face your emotions. Face that uncomfortable, painful truth. Allow yourself to feel it and then deal with it. You cannot blame anybody. It's not your father's fault for whatever he did to you. It's not his fault. Please, I'm not even justifying bad behavior. Please understand me. The person that did you wrong has done the wrong. Yes, they are wrong in it. There is no way that is right for another person to do something wrong to you. No. But you cannot sit in that place of hurt. After allowing yourself to feel that emotion, after being truthful to yourself that this is what this action did to me, this is how this action affected me, the next step is to step out of it. And then find the truth to align yourself to. And align yourself with that and move forward. Welcome, Kelechi. Good afternoon. I'm glad you joined me this afternoon. So we're talking about emotional integrity. Our emotions are important and we do need to deal with them. If you need to cry it out, please do. Cry it out. Say it, cry it out, but feel it and then step out from that place. So generally, when we don't deal with our emotions, we become victims. We become victims of those emotions, and we are held bound by those emotions. But we can come out of it. We can take the step into the light and believe and have hope. We can do it. We can take that step. And in doing that, we do have to acknowledge what we are feeling. We do have to tell ourselves a different story, Tell ourselves a different story. Reimagine our lives. See ourselves on the other side of whatever it is that happened, whatever challenge. See yourself on that other side. I'm sure I've talked about this a lot, but it works. See yourself on the other side. See yourself overcoming. See yourself being that better version. See yourself winning. See yourself excelling. See yourself on the other side. Imagine or reimagine your life. Reimagine your life. Visualize yourself on the other side. See you excelling. See you reversing, whatever choices, whatever things that may have happened to you in the past. See it. And when you see it, when you truly see it, when you truly, I don't know if this has happened to us, because I'm looking, and maybe I'm struggling a little bit for words, but when you truly imagine yourself on the other side, and for me, I actually do see it. For example, when I talked about my knee, I truly, honestly saw myself walking without pain. I was still physically walking with pains. But in my heart, in my mind, in my head, I saw myself walking without pain. By the time I got to that point, see, my emotions are now aligning with the word that I've been saying all this while. I've been saying the word all the while, but my emotions were not in alignment. What was happening inside was not in alignment with what I was saying. But by the time I allowed myself to feel what I was feeling, feel the despair, question the questions, question all the questions I had, and then sat down and realized that the word of God is true, and what he says about me is true, and that he always has my back in whatever, and that he wouldn't allow me to suffer truly, and that he loved me and he loved me. There's nothing that will make him not to love me. I don't know about you anyway, but I'm talking about myself now. Once I settled that in me, by the time I tell people I'm fine, I was truly fine. Yes, they're still seeing me limp. They're still seeing me stand up with difficulty. But I was fine. Because I've seen the me on the other side. I've seen the me that is walking without pain. I truly, truly saw it with my heart. And so I could say the faith confessions with confidence now. It wasn't just to please others. It wasn't just so that people will see me as a woman of faith. It wasn't just to align with all my, the expectations people had of me. No, it was because I truly believed it. And today, I'm experiencing it. Today, I am feeling truly now in my body the things that I saw last year. The things that I allowed myself to see by dealing with how I was feeling about the whole situation. Okay, so please acknowledge your feelings and reimagine your life. Reimagine it. See yourself in that new experience. Just allow yourself to see it. Okay, so, I think I've given us basically an idea of how to walk in emotional integrity just by the story that I told. I've given us an idea of the things we need to do. If you're a Christian, once again, truly, how many of us read the Bible and we're like, okay, this is the word of God, this is the word of God. Then at the same time, we turn and we say, okay, but this is reality. Maybe it doesn't happen to you people. It happens to me. And I have to truly sit down with myself, sit down with that word and convince myself that this word is in agreement with my reality. It's my agreement with my reality. So that is actually how you begin to practice emotional integrity. After feeling the feelings, search within you, what is the truth? Because the pain we are feeling, the difficulties we are going through, that is not actually the truth. That is a fact. It's a fact. But it's not the truth. So we need to discover what is the truth about me? What is the truth about my situation? What is the truth about what I am going through? What is the truth? And when you discover that truth, you see, Kelechi said it happens to her. This is the word, but this is, me. It is different, variance. But you need to discover what is the truth. I can't discover the truth for you. I can try and tell you, I can try and give you examples, but I cannot discover the truth for you. And we shouldn't even try to discover truth for people. They need to discover it themselves. They need to be able to sit with their emotions, understand their emotions, allow them, feel it, feel the emotions first, and understand why you're feeling it. And then you need to sit, find the truth, and tell yourself the real truth now, not just what you're feeling, and get your feeling to align with the truth. See the new you. Imagine the you that is achieving great things. Imagine the you that is married. For example, you're not married and you're wondering, no, the clock is ticking, time is going. See the you that is married. See the you that's carrying your babies or whatever. See the you that is living without pain. See the you that is achieving all those great things you want to achieve. And then allow your emotions to align with that truth. And once you're able to do that, honestly, the sky is truly your starting point. Truly. This is not words. Truly. Nothing. Sometimes people ask me, why is it that people assume I don't have problems. People assume I don't have issues. I don't have challenges. So when they are telling me, so when some people tell me their issues, they're like, man, you won't understand. And I always tell them, you err. You err if you think I don't have challenges. I don't have issues. I've just, over time, learned how to, allow myself to feel whatever it is I'm feeling at that point. Allow it to happen. And I've also learned to align my feelings to the word. I've learned to see me the way I believe God sees me. I've learned to now align my words, my actions, my deeds to that picture I have of what or how I think God sees me. And I know that his plans for me are for good. I know that his expectations of me, oh my God, they are wonderful. And I have a lot of work to do to get to that expected end. There are things I need to do to get there. And I know that he does not lie. These are things I know them because I have sat with them for a while and I have practiced, I have, worked it out inside. So my advice to us as I close today is, please be emotionally, or be a person of emotional integrity. Feel your feelings. Don't, brush them under the carpet. No. Don't discountenance what you're feeling. No. Feel them. It's okay. It's allowed. It's even good. Feel them, but don't wallow in them. And don't allow expectations. What will people or what people think? Don't allow that to color your emotions. The only person that's actually relevant, the only two people that are relevant in this journey of growth is you and God. They're the two people that are relevant. Every other person, So if you can get yourself to a place where you align with what God says about you, and you work it out from there, you will just be at peace. And the words truly sometimes do fail me to describe some things that happen between us as human beings and God, The words do fail me sometimes. You will be at peace. Even in the midst of the problem, of the challenge, of the difficulty, of that thing that is troubling you, of that thing that, nobody seems to understand. In the midst of it, you can truly have peace. And you can truly have the joy that passes understanding. You can. And people will begin to wonder, Is it that this person doesn't have problems or what? So, be a man, be a woman today that's a person of emotional integrity, that expresses their emotions, that's not afraid to feel. That's not afraid to feel. But truly understands their emotions. That truly tells themselves the truth or the facts of what you're feeling. Let me not call it truth now, but the facts of what you're feeling. Acknowledge the facts of what you're feeling. And then align them to the truth, which is what God says about you. That way, by the time you're making your proclamations, when you're making your statements of faith, it's aligning with what you're truly feeling. And you will begin to see the results. Thank you for joining me once again this afternoon. I hope I've not confused us. I want to believe that taught us something, even as I'm teaching myself. Because, you know, one thing about these sessions is that as I speak, I also speak to myself. As I release, what I call this truth, this information, is also entering into my own spirit. As I'm helping you to grow, I'm also helping myself to grow. So thank you once again for joining me this afternoon. I hope that we are all learning together. So, yes, I need to say this. Okay, next week is going to be a question and answer session. So please come with your questions. If possible, send your questions ahead so that I can deal with those ones first, but come with your questions. I think I will try and I hope I can do this on the, yes, I'm trying to, in August, I need to change the time of these sessions. And I would like to get our opinions as to what date and what time. No, not what date, sorry, what time. The day will remain Tuesday. I don't think I want to change the Tuesday. But I do need to make an adjustment to the time. Either moving it forward by 2 hours so that it will be by 2 p.m. or moving it completely to the evenings. So, I think I can set up a poll. I will see the possibility so that I get our opinion on the best time to move these sessions to. Because in August, we're going to concentrate on spiritual growth. And I'm bringing people to speak. So I need to adjust the time to when it's suitable for those people more. The 12 noon doesn't quite work with any of them for now. So I need to adjust the time. Any of the people that I want to bring in the month of August. So give me your ideas, please. Give me, when is a more convenient time aside from 12 for you, so that we can try and align, the times and give us the best experience. Because this August is very important to me, because if you're experiencing growth in every other thing and not spiritually, you are not truly growing. You're not truly growing. Something is missing. So this session coming up is very, very important to me. So I need to make sure that it's convenient for us all, and also for the persons that I'm bringing up to speak to us on spiritual growth. Okay, so I will see how I can set up that poll. I hope I can do it either straight on my page or on the Growth Habits page. But please, if you see the poll, please vote there so that we'll get a time that is most agreeable to all of us. Yeah, thank you all once again. Remember to follow us on YouTube. The link should be showing on this live broadcast. If it's not, I think I'll probably copy and paste the links in the comment section once this live is ended. Follow us on YouTube. Join the Facebook group. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, all of them. Growth Habits with Ngozi is the name. So follow us on all our social media handles. And thank you all once again for joining me today, and have an awesome, awesome day. Bye.